Hello everyone. So I am doing a third video. This video is related to Java syntax or the sentence structure that's used in the code blocks. I touched a little bit about syntaxes on the previous video, but that was just barely a touch. And the reason I am talking about syntax now is in order to base your understanding on the structure. um, I have to know, or we have to know the syntaxes. And the reason I am doing these videos on Java, although Java is almost 25 years old, and the reason I'm doing a video or the video series on Java program and not the application files that you see on your phones is because that most of the financial institutions are still reliant on Java program, and the problem is it it takes a lot of resources to build these systems, and when it comes to migration from one system to the other, it costs a huge amount of money. So the Java is still valid and it will stay relevant for at least the next 10 years. So it's important to know Java, and also Java is one of the most basic programs and sort of something that one can learn on their own. So that's why we're talking about Java. So let's start with Java syntax. The first thing I'm gonna again point out, we're talking about uh, the uh, the semicolons, which basically marks the end of a functioning statement. What that means that if the statement is only one line and it doesn't span over multiple lines, then we have to end it with a semicolon, and it has to be well, a functioning statement basically has to be uh, and ended with a semicolon. Now the next thing I touched on previously and also very important is the package. Here you see the first line says package ca.book.bgn, means begin, dot one, semicolon. Now package is a package declaration, as I said, so we can look at it as an address of the class, uh, address the class has declared. Now to be specific, we can say that a package is a hierarchy of directories. So if we think of the package as a box, then we can say that in this example, we can say that the biggest box here would be CA, and within that box, the next immediately smaller box would be book. So ca.book represent uh, book represents ca.book package, and then within the book package you have the begin package, and within the begin there's the smallest package one. Now what we're doing here is the next line is public class generic block. So what we're doing here is we are writing a Java program and leaving it in the package one, right? So we'll back to the screen again. Okay, so as I said, we're writing this program, generic list block.java, and we're putting it in the one package. So essentially, the whole address of this Java file would be ca.book begin one, and then within that is the generic block Java. Um, Now Above that, there's the import package. As I said, that import package basically um, it's refers to the classes that the Java development kit provides when writing codes. These classes are organized in packages as well. So when you compile your code, the compiler needs to know which class is needed because there would be multiple classes. Um, and there may be multiple classes uh, with the same name, but declared in different packages. So the compiler needs to know where it's coming from. All right, so we'll go back to the public class generic list block again, and I will talk about this public class. So this is a class declaration statement. It's essentially the body that is wrapped around it is the body, the entire body. That the class represents the body, uh, and it is the core. This is the core of the program. It represents templates for the objects making up an application. Now the brackets are the braces, basically, the braces, the curly braces. These curly braces are used to group statements together into code blocks. They represent a body of a class, or even a method, or just even a few sentences. So, the first curly bracket here, that represents the entire class. Okay, now the second curly bracket next to the main string argument, this curly bracket, the second one, that represents the method, the main string argument method, and the and then this curly bracket right in the middle before item dot for each item. There's the curly bracket starts, then there's a statement, well, there's a function here, and then the curly bracket ends. So that's basically is representing a few sentences or even a command. And then we have we'll talk about the list here. So this item, this word item here, that is basically what this statement is declaring a variable named item. So items is a variable, um, and we are assigning values to this items here. This list dot off, and we're assigning values of these items, and they're basically a bunch of letters and digits. Uh, so what's going to happen here is when we go to the next sentence, the next line here, line 11, it says item for each is a statement. It's a function call. So what is it's doing is it's calling the function for each, and it's applying to the variable called items. The result is what's being printed here. So this particular function, what it's doing here is it's checking to make sure if the item is a match or not, right? So if it says if the item is a 0, well, then it prints 0, and if the item is letters A, B, C, etc., then it prints out not 0. So when you compile and when you run this program, you will see there's a list of lines which will say 0, not 0, 0, not 0, because the code is checking to make sure whether these items here, these variables, they match what the function is asking them to check. It doesn't care whether there's an A written here or D or whatever. All it's doing is checking to make sure that uh, if it's a 0 or not 0, and that's what it's printing here. So that is all, and again, I'm just gonna quickly mention to you that the most important rule when writing Java code is that um, the package declaration and import statements, and all codes must be within a block. Um, Again, also we have to remember that if the line doesn't spread, if the what do you call that there? If a statement, basically, if it doesn't spread along multiple lines, then you'd have to end it with a semicolon. So that would be another refresher on the Java syntax, and we will see you later. Thank you.